and welcome to this lesson on how to play the tune Silent Night on the ukulele. I'm doing it in the key of C, which is quite a high key to sing in, but it's a really good key to play the tune in because it uses lots of nice friendly open strings. Just to refresh your memory on my simple note code, basically you need to know the names of the four strings. From the floor to the ceiling they are A, E, C and G. Or if you prefer it, you could say the phrase aliens eat chocolate giants. If I say OG, pretty obviously I mean the open G string. If I say OA, open A string. If I say OE, open E string. If I say 5A, 5th fret of the A string, put your finger behind the 5th fret of the A string. And what finger do you use? Well, if you look at the small numbers on top of the codes, for instance, if you look at the second line where the words are all is calm, all is bright, you see 5A, 5th fret of the A string, and above that it says 4, 4th finger, little finger, and then it says on the word calm you've got the note 2A, 2nd fret of the A string, and there's number 1 on top, so 1st finger. So you're counting in threes. That will give you 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2, 3, that kind of idea. On that first line you'll notice it's all open strings and it's rather weird. What makes it weird, of course, is this high G that we have. On a guitar, as you go from the floor to the ceiling, the notes get progressively lower. Well, they do to start with on the ukulele, but then you have this high G note popping up, which is only slightly lower than the string nearest the floor. In fact, it's a tone lower. So that is a bit confusing in some respects, but it's quite handy in others. It means if we do this tune in the key of C, I can play the whole of that first bit with open strings. So open G, that's the string nearest the ceiling, open A, the string nearest the floor, open G again, and then open E is the second string up to the floor. And you do that twice. Now I'm holding the ukulele underneath with my fingers and playing the notes with my thumb. I could use a plectrum, get a different sound. It's a slightly thinner sound. That's it. But I actually think for this tune the thumb sounds better. So the first line, pretty straightforward. When we go to all is calm, all is bright, we go to the 5th fret of the A string, the string nearest the floor, little finger, like I said earlier, play that note twice. And then the first finger should drop nicely behind the 2nd fret of the same string for the word calm. And then use your 2nd finger behind the 3rd fret of the A string, play that note twice for all is. And bright is open G, the string nearest the ceiling. So that second line. Now, round young virgin, mother and child, holy infant so tender and mild, those two lines are the same, or have the same tune. So you have the open A to start with, and you play that note twice, go to the 3rd fret, the 2nd fret, back to the open. And when you play the tune for mother and child, that's the same tune that you had for Silent Night. It's open G, open A, open G and open E. So let's play that line. And the next line, holy infant so tender and mild, same tune. Now here's where it gets a bit interesting. Sleep in heavenly peace. Now you're up to the 5th fret of the A string. Notice the finger that I'm using is the 1st finger because I'm going to go from the 5th fret, which I play twice, up to the 8th fret, which I use my little finger on. Back to the 5th fret of the A. Now I could go down to the 2nd fret of the A string for the next note, but if I want to be a bit more professional, I do this. I put my 3rd finger behind the 7th fret of the E string, get the note there, and then move my little finger to the fret above that, to the 8th fret, and then my 3rd finger cuts inside onto the 7th fret of the A string. So that the whole bit there I'm going to show you that a little bit closer up now. So watch this. Show you again. Now that's more professional than going. See, just using one string. That's not so good. Much better to do this. And in that way you keep it nice and tidy, all in one little 4-fret area. So look at the fingers there that you use and try and play it in that way. If you really can't do it like that, then obviously you can go up and down the strings. So you would play the 5A twice, go up to 8A, back to the 5A. Instead of going to 7E, you go to the 2nd fret of the A string, then the 3rd fret of the A string, then back up to the 7th. So that would be, obviously not so professional, but you might find that easier. So the last line, 3rd fret of the A string, 3rd finger, then you use this open G, open E, open G, 1st fret of the E string, and then finally you get to play the C string, that's the 3rd string up from the floor, 2nd fret, 2nd finger, and then open. And you end on open C, which is obviously a note of C. So you have. And that is how to play the tune Silent Night on the ukulele in the key of C major.